Here we are on the draw. With this hand, I think we keep. And I think I lead with the Hedron Crawler. But we'll see. Like, getting a turn 3 Mina and Din could be really good here. But I'm certainly going to keep. See what comes next. But I've yet to see these guys be amazing. I think there's some possibility, though. Like, Territorial Baloth says, what's up? Yeah, with the lands, I think we just run it and see if we can get that out early. Play the biggest threat. I don't think a 2/2 is going to be super relevant. I mean, that can all change if they play something here, but we'll see what they're up to. Right, with the second Hedron Crawler, I'm even more likely to run it out. Because, like, our whole board state is predicated on getting something out quickly with this hand. Otherwise, we're not doing so hot. Like, I could potentially, next turn, play a Hedron Crawler and a Stalking Drone, but I don't think I'm too in love with that. I feel like 4 mana 4/4 is kind of where I want to be. Yeah, especially against that. Like, flyers are going to be a potential problem for us, but meh. Then next turn I can just try to cast multiple ramp cards. I feel like getting a threat down is quite important for me. We will take your 2. If they leave mana up, I may or may not attack here. Let's see what they do. We draw a land, we could smite something and then start to get ahead. 2 of those. Or not smite, Stone Fury. Lagak's actually okay here. As it makes this a 5/5 and leaves back something that can trade for one of those. I dislike that it doesn't ramp our mana, because this hand is missing lands and it really needs them. So it's a question of, do I want to try to slow the game down and develop my mana base, or do I want to speed the game up and get in an attack? I think at this point I probably just want to get a couple more mana sources on the board, so I can go Crawler and Stalking Drone. Although, like, a 5/5 kind of says you have to deal with me right now. I'm going to do that. I still feel like I'm the beatdown with the Stone Fury in hand, and like drawing a land turns most of this on. A land turns on the Baloth too. Like, I'm pretty happy trading the Lagak for half of that. I've already got my value. It's their flyer I'm worried about. Their mana looks pretty good. Although, it's questionable whether this does a whole lot if they're only playing the wide end of it, but who knows. A 5/4, you say? Alright, so land would be fantastic, because then we can kill it and swing back, if that's what we want to do. I think it is. Like, right now, let's see if we can just put this game behind. And we've got decent follow-ups, like we can run out of Baloth and then run out the other stuff, and this guy can still trade for a ground creature, etc., etc. But 5/4 Vigilance Trample is no joke. That's probably just better than Mina and Din, to be fair. Like, I get that there's some cute synergy abilities going on there, but I'm not convinced they're great. Oh, the Null Drifter. That changes the tempo of this game quite a bit. As we kind of have to get ahead on tempo if we want to win. And there's not really an opportunity for us to do that, because they're going to get back their Path Warden. If we attack here, they double block, we kill this. Like, this is where a combat trick would be insane. But we don't have one. I kind of want to get the Baloth down so it can attack. And I may as well play the land as like, this is probably my win condition now, is bouncing stuff with Mina and Din and then replaying the lands. Like, we can pump that to lethal next turn, so it's a must block. Which is probably the direction we go in. We'll see where we end up. They have 3 cards left, one of which is the 5/4. One of which is the 5/4. All right, so what can we do here? Well, there's a land. That's a good start. So we play that. We bounce a land, play another land, and this is an 8/8, which means it still just trades for one of those. And our hand doesn't do a whole lot. I think I probably still do it. It's just sad that any combat trick does a real thing here. So there's 2 land drops, so we can't do anything else with it, but we do have an 8/8 trample. I guess we're going to trade it for this and then get the rest of our board state out. Like, I can't imagine they take it or chump it. Like, that just doesn't seem to make much sense, but sure. That's bold, because any combat trick would get them, but we don't have one. Alright, so I want the drone down for sure. I also want the druid. And the ability to give any of our creatures trample now is probably worth having. Like, Death Touch and Trample can... oh, this isn't the one that gets Death Touch. This is the one that gets pumped. So it's kind of a 3/4. Alright, that's fine too. It does look like they're getting both sides off the marsh flats. Well, that hurts. That hurts a lot. I think I'm going to have to side into the red-black deck again to be able to do a thing with this. Because otherwise we're kind of just done here. Like, if we don't aggro them out. So I can swing with the team, give all my dudes trample. It kind of doesn't matter. We're mostly dead, so I'm going to play this to chump with. There's the possibility that we draw something that does a thing. If I have a landfall thing, I can do that anyway, so I guess we just pass here. Yeah, I kind of feel like the only way we're beating our opponent's deck here is to aggro them out with the Rakdos build. Like, things were going pretty good until that Null Drifter hit. And that's not really a thing you can stop. They are slow playing it, which I suppose is good. But again, I'm just not sure exactly how we're supposed to get through walls of 6/6s. Reality Hemorrhage. That would stop that, except reasons. Are we dead to a swing out? No. They're damn close dead to a swing out, they just don't know it. So we block here, eat it, jump the rest of it. I don't think giving my dudes trample even does anything, but we still potentially have a draw with the Obligator, where we take their 6/6 and attack them. That way they don't gain life from their draws. Like, this is, again, not good. Not amazing action that's happening right here, but mainly because we're dead. I thought we had one more draw, but that Raptor's going to finish us off. I clicked Reveal Hand, so I can't draw the card. And now they know we have a Reality Hemorrhage. That's kind of awkward placement. So what are we trying to do against this particular opponent? I get that the vines and the plummet would be pretty good, but I also think I just have to play the red-black deck again, because this one's just not good enough. I can't really splash for green in that deck because the mana is so bad. I don't think I can afford to do that, but let's take a look at it again. I don't want the dutiful return still. The Tarsneers are okay at getting little stuff out of the way, and if we're only interested in the game, the early game, we can probably pull this off. We'd get to run the Titan's Presence and the Warden. Which is pretty bad. If I had any green fixing, I'd probably splash Nisa's Judgment here. Like, we're running the Visage, which gives us 1 green source, but I'd want 2 more to play it, and we just don't have them. So I think we've got to jam in the old 8/8 and try this one out. This may have been the better deck of the two. I was hesitant to play it because it's a very aggressive deck, and I'm not used to playing aggressive decks in Sealed, but that may just be because I've been playing BFZ so darn much that I've forgotten how to get aggro. And how aggressive is it when it's got 4s and 5s? That said, I feel like this has a better chance against what our opponent is doing than we do in the blind, so let's get her doing. Alright, we do want to play first. That was the whole idea. This is decent, so we'll keep. It's not amazing. We don't have the things to activate this guy. But like, if we draw let's say we draw Slide Runner into Swamp, or better yet, into Crumbling Visage, then this hand is probably one of the best draws we can get. Sludge Dragon is a real threat, and we were looking to aggro them out. This doesn't quite do it because we're missing the 2, but, I mean, I guess we've at least got something to do with the mana. It's kind of like we played a 2/2 haste that gets -1/-1 every other turn. I don't know. There's some small value of ingesting when your opponent is splashing. I don't think that's huge, but it's a thing. Yeah, so like attacking here doesn't do much for us. Double Tar Snare, not amazing. There's no point in chump checking because then they might be able to just sheer drop us. So just ramp out a couple more little dudes. That wall is actually going to be pretty good against us. Titan's Presence kills it dead. Kind of need one more land. Kind of need good removal, and we just don't have that. So that's a thing. We can attack in here and maybe use a Sure Strike to eat that as opposed to a Tar Snare, but if we're going to do that, I'd probably rather just Tar Snare it and hit for 1. This is a pretty sad turn. It is good to use Sure Strike when they're tapped out. They may also have changed decks on us. I guess the upside is if they don't want to make the trade, we could pump this, but yeah, I'm just going to Tar Snare this guy and hit for 1. I feel like the Sure Strike is cheap enough that we can use it later, and we might could use it on the Sifter of Skulls on a future turn to be able to kill the Ramparts, although I guess Tar Snare does that too. It still felt like just using the thing that used the most mana was the best. I'm starting to guess they've switched decks. Probably so they could play Linvala the Preserver. Which is one of the better cards, I think, in the format. Won't matter too much if we don't hit our next land drop, but if we do, we're starting to do a thing. We've all seen what the Essence Depleter can do. It can deplete your essence. -3, -2. Is there a chance they block? I suppose there is. Like, Tar Snare just doesn't do anything on these 2/3s. So I can attack there, potentially Sure Strike and or Tar Snare that, or I can just play the Sifter of Skulls, or we can just jam the Warden of Geometries. I think I like Warden this turn. Let's just start activating the Depleter. And if we hit another land, we can have a decent turn. We could attack with the team, have tricks, etc. If our opponent attacks, that should be fine too. I think we're still interested in trading damage. That gets a little bit worse because our 1/1 can't get in so well. It does let us play the Sifter and then attack with Sure Strike up. So I think we're going to do that. And probably use it to get through the Incubator Drone, which is one of the saddest uses of Sure Strike I've ever seen. I might could just hold it. But there's a certain incentive for him to double block this guy. Not biting. Alright, still gonna do it. Our opponent's stuck on mana, so that Scion is valuable to them, and I need to enable attacks with all of my dudes. And I think with Tar Snare next turn we can potentially do a thing. I wouldn't mind drawing a Swarm Surge, which would be difficult because it's not in the deck. But if there was ever a sealed deck that would want one, I think this is it. It does feel kind of bad to use a removal spell on a 2/3, but maybe I'm better off just chillaxing and draining. That may be our game plan. One of those places where you've got to really ask who's the beatdown and who's not. Because it's not immediately obvious. Mainly because they still have cards in hand and we have relatively low impact cards. Like, we don't have a lot of good top decks, so I kind of want to close out the game as fast as I can. Yeah, like something like that hurts us a good bit. It's still killable. Like if he holds the 3/4 back, he's not holding the 3/4 back. That's interesting. I like what you're doing there. It means we get attacks. Save that for landfall or just run it out. I mean, we've only got the one landfall guy, so I think we run it out. We can pump this guy now to be a 3/3, so I think he can actually attack. We could pump it to a 2/2 and still Tar Snare something, so I think the team goes in. Like if he wants to double block this guy, we can Tar Snare for value. If he wants to double block anybody, we can Tar Snare for value. Yeah. Let's get snaring. We can do all the things. It doesn't let us get through this guy, but it does still leave us with a decent turn. I probably want to pump this dude once. Just so we are actually getting in some damage here. And then we can go on the drain plan. Still wouldn't mind the obligator. Him attacking has got to be relatively good for us, because the 3/4 holds back most of our board. There's an argument to using the tar snare to get rid of the wall there, but at that point he probably does hold back the 3/4. Whereas this way we've still at least got attacks. Or whatever his last card is, he's playing it, which is probably good and probably bad. It means we're in top deck mode. And I think our opponent's deck is a good bit better than ours. We do have him on a 13-turn clock, though. Getting Menace is good for this dude. It means we don't want the Warden dead. I can probably attack with these two. He probably trades off the tokens for that and blocks this here and then continues to swing at us with the flyer. But I think that's still my option. Also, if he doesn't want to trade the tokens, that's fine. We can just block them. We have 2/3s. And getting him off the board does mean that he can't actually kill the Shrieker. So forcing in for a turn might start to be enough. The downside is we're taking 5. And we can't currently activate the Shrieker and the Essence Depleter. So I don't love our chances, but we're still playing Magic. I think this is a no-brainer block for the opponent. If he tries to block any other way, we get Scions out of the deal. That can't be good. Yeah, this is kind of what I expected. But let's do it. There you have it. Yep. Okay, he must have drawn a good card, because this attack doesn't make any sense otherwise. Wouldn't mind more colorless source. Evolving Wilds? Okay, I think we're in pretty good shape now. Alright, so he can't hit back for lethal. If we swing here, we're getting in for... I assume he blocks this. And we get in for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Seems good to me. I can't understand why that attack was made there. But I'll certainly try and capitalize on it. And he blocks that one? Okay. That just lets me use more of my mana and get in more damage. So take an extra point. Now our opponent's at 3, and we've got 2 points of drain a turn. Which seems good to me. Also didn't pop Wilds end of turn, so if they were using that for a splash card and drew the splash card, they're in a bit of trouble. But I think they got to start holding back now. We also hit a Ruination Guide, which would not have killed us, but it's probably not something we want our opponent to draw when they've got all of these flyers. It almost makes me wonder if I want to try some green variant in order to bring in Plummet and the Spidery Grasp variant. Like black-green wouldn't be terrible. It's just a lot of the green dudes are big dudes. Which is not necessarily a bad thing, I suppose. Still attacking? You're still attacking. I like it. A bold move, Cotton. They've kind of got to have life gain here or they're dead. Like, we can make this unblockable and then everything's lethal. The challenge is we can attack with this and then make it unblockable, so all of them are attacking. And this would have to be blocked by 2 things. So I don't even think a creature saves them here. It stays tapped. Okay. I'd have played that before attacking personally, but we're still presenting lethal unless they have a combat trick or like instant speed removal spell sort of thing. Because like we put them to 1, we swing with the team, they die. Titan's Presence does nothing. So do we go for it here or do we just see if they can kill us next turn? I think we just go for it. Problem is they eat one of our dudes. So they're going to swing back for 5, and we're at a perfectly comfortable life total. So perhaps we just don't even bother. Like, they'd have to draw something that's going to do 4 points of damage in blue-white, and I don't think that exists. We do give them a chance to draw an isolation zone or something like that, but then we could still draw a colorless creature and use Titan's Presence, and we're going to have this guy up next turn, so I don't think we bother attacking here. Like, if they draw air, we're fine. And we'll still have attacks the turn after if they don't resolve the isolation zone now. Plus, the isolation zone would pretty much have to get the Warden and put them at 1. And I pseudo like our chances there. Okay, they're scooping them up. So, like, if they're going to keep this deck, I have some argument for thinking I'd like to have the green, because they've obviously got some good flyers. But I still feel like even that deck, if we don't come out ahead of them, we're losing. Every time, all the time, there's nothing we can do about it. So like our shot is to be aggressive, have a good opener, and win the game that way. Because if the game goes long, we lose. And again, splashing for a plummet isn't an option. If we played green-black, we could splash like a blue card between that and the Loam Larva and the Elf, but like there's not a single blue card I want to splash. Harbly Rye doesn't do it. Juara Isle Avenger isn't good enough. We don't really have an answer for his Linvala other than kill him before he gets to 6 mana. Yeah, I think this is probably our best shot at winning this. I could almost talk myself again into splashing a blue card. I just don't see one that's worth splashing. We could splash maybe a Smite as that kills Linvala, but I'm not even convinced that's good. Like our mediocre removal will get us through the early game potentially. Yeah, I think we just run this back and see if we can get there on the back of the little drainy guy. This is one of the harder matchups so far. I like this hand and I don't like this hand. I think I keep it on the draw because it can cast most things. It's got a removal spell for something early and a Chain Mage, plus another ally, which means if we get into a board stall, we can probably do something. It also, to be fair, has a lot of dead draws. It has a lot of good ones too, though. Basically 2 through 3 drops would be great. And Hedron Crawler is just fine. It lets us get the Chain Mage out while it can still be relevant on the board. Like a 4-2 attacker is not nothing. Hey, double red. We have a thing. So that means we can go Chain Mage into Recruit. Start doing stuff. What are you doing? And a crippling chill, my dude. That's actually surprisingly good. Because that eats my turn here. So 3-drop or bust. Not a 3-drop. We get some of our tempo back if they play a thing that's worth tar snaring here. But like a lot of their stuff, tar snare doesn't even kill. Like that guy, for example. Still alright. We should get some decent hits in with this chain mage when we trigger the menace. Drawing all lands is a little not what we needed, but just means there's more action in the deck. Like they think they're going to play a blocker and then... Oh, this doesn't give menace to other things. Why did I think it gave your team menace? That's the little Scathe Zombie variant. Tarfire can still do something. Tarfire, Tar Snare, Tar something. Tar Pit Warrior. Okay. Okay. So we don't want them to resolve Linvala. We don't want them to have creatures in play. And we kind of can't do anything about anything. Yeah. Kind of feel like my best shot is to attack with the Chain Mage and resolve the Recruit. And try to race this crap. It's not going to be easy. But this is the world we live in. Linvala's really going to wreck me here. Like, I could make an argument for tar snaring his dude. So that at least when Linvala resolves, they don't get the angel token. And I don't hate that. But I think I just have to hope he doesn't... I mean, like, it potentially slows him down, misses a land drop, but I think our plan here is he doesn't have it. Because I don't think I'm beating it. There's still 25 cards in his deck, and if one of them is Linvala, we're in good shape. Otherwise, we're kind of screwed, but... His attack doesn't make much sense unless he's got a really good stabilization play. That is not the really good stabilization play you need. That is not the droid we were looking for. Two of those dudes is kind of okay, but that means I can just play the Hellion, nug him, and then start draining for 2. Like if I attack with this, he just trades it for those. If I play the Hellion, I've got another 4/4 I can start attacking with. I can also play the Slide Runner and it can attack next turn. Like this doesn't finish out the game super fast, but it does start to do a thing. Couple more turns with no angel. Couple more turns. Stop tapping that mana. Stop it. Stop right there. 5 mana is plenty. That's all you need. Okay, you can have a raptor. The downside is this is going to become a big threat. The good side is we're starting to attack with things. Things that are relevant. We can also potentially use Tar Snare in conjunction with the trample on the Slide Runner to do a thing. And that if he blocks, you know, with a... And we need to get through 2 damage, we can potentially shrink a 2/3 and get through 2 damage if we have landfall. Like, there's a lot of ifs going on here, but... It makes it a lot harder for our Slide Runner to attack, but it can still block. Oh, you're going to the air. All right, buddy. I like what you're doing. Let's race. Let's race for sure. I like racing. You and you. So now you are at 12. We have a landfall. I think we swing team here, right? So what are his blocks? 1, 2, 3, 4 blockers. We're attacking with this for sure and this for sure. We've got to be able to beat 6 damage. And I feel like this is where Tar Snare is going to get us somewhere. So what are his blocks if we attack? It's super tempting to put 1 here and 2 here and then to chump this and take 3. So he would go 1 here, 2 here, chump there. Do we beat that? Like, I get that I can do the damage here. I think we have to go for it and try to get the Tar Snare value here. Because if he double blocks something, we can Tar Snare it and still have a menace creature up. Because we're essentially dead next turn. Not 100%, but close. So I think this is the turn the boys go in. And we'll see what we can do here. Like, he's certainly got to block. Did I leave myself dead to a crackback? If he just chumps, he takes 8, 9, 10, 11. I did. So if he just chumps here, we die. Which is interesting. Okay, good, he didn't go for it. That makes me happy, because not being dead is something that I like very much. So this leaves him hitting us for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 next turn. And we're hitting him for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 now. If I kill this, we've got a pretty good swing back. If he's got any pump, we just die, right? So like Mighty Leap does it. I'm trying to decide if I want to take out his Raptor, because if he plays another Raptor, we're in trouble, or if I want to take out one of these tokens. And I honestly think if he's got any more attacks, we're not winning. So I'd rather take out one of these tokens, hit for 8, and then be 2 activations of this off from winning. It's a tough choice, though. Like, this block would indicate to me that he has something that kills me next turn. But let's say that instead, I just let this trade happen. 4, 5, 6, 7. He's going to 5. That might goad him into an attack next turn. But him at 5 with me having this out. Let's say I do this and he doesn't attack. What's my attack like next turn? I swing with this guy and he just trades one of these dudes for it. Also don't have to use the Tar Fire. We could draw our Drainy guy. I think maybe I just let this trade happen and hold up the Tar Snare to either get a blocker out of the way, or if he plays another a combat trick or something and goes for the kill. I think I actually like this then. It's tough, but okay, you got me. It's not the turn we wanted, it's the turn we deserved. Again, one more turn for him to hit Linvala and kill us. Don't like that. A little blinky dude that you can get in white would be fun to exile this guy and kill somebody with. If he doesn't have any attacks this turn, we could also use the Tar Snare next turn to do something really significant. Like blow out some blocks. Like, it's tempting for him to hit for at least 5 here, which he would probably have to do with the Negator and the Bird. And then again, we can do some fun shenanigans with Trample to maybe get through lethal. He could also cast a Rolling Waters here and we're just dead, but that is the game. Again, with an opponent getting pretty low on time, that seems to be something that's happening pretty common in these. I guess maybe a lot of people are double queuing these, which, again, you know my thoughts on double queuing. I like this attack. 6, 7, 8. All right. Well, that means he has to have a pump spell to win, so we'll let him cast it first. I'd still rather get a 2-for-1 if I can. I doubt the game's going to go long enough for me to do that, but we don't beat a Linvala here, but we beat a lot of other cards. I don't think there's any 2 direct damages here. Now, he didn't give this flying, so I can block that and take 5. That seems reasonable. It does mean that I can't drain for 1 if I draw my drainy guy, but oh, I'd also like to have the obligator. Yeah, I'll take it. Like if he's got a warping whale here, we just counter it essentially. Or, oh, spatial contortion, that's the one I was thinking of. So this means he's doing 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points of damage to us. I can kill the bird, but I think I'd rather just kill this. Like that takes out his guy. We lose to a counter spell or another pump spell, but that may have been worth blocking there. But like we beat any creature. If he's sitting on land, we beat it. So intense. Still has 6 mana, could still easily slam Linvala, and then we have to draw our active treason guy, but turns out they don't have it. Awesome. Didn't expect to see you in the finals with this deck, but that's where we're going. Be right back.